Well, for all you Falcon fans, I sympathize with you, and I'm right with you. I was certainly rooting for the Falcons because they're here in the South. Nevertheless, there's no question about it. New England outplayed them in the last quarter, and it's not what the score is in the middle, it's the score at the end that really counts. Nevertheless, we'll all live. It's only a game, and in 20 years we'll forget all about this particular game. And in heaven we won't care anything about the outcome of the game. Have you ever gone into a nursing home, assisted living, public restroom, and the odor just knocked you over? I mean, it wasn't pleasant. When I was pastor of a church in Florida, one of the things that I vowed was that when somebody went into one of our restrooms, they wouldn't be knocked over by foul smell. It's hard when you have a busy bathroom to keep the odors pleasant. One of the things you do, obviously, is you ventilate. You take out the old foul smell and you replace it with fresh, clean air. That creates problem for air conditioning. We had an air conditioning commercial contractor that was in our church, and he said, it's expensive to throw cold air out of a building and to have to bring in new air that's in Florida 90 or 100 degrees in temperature. So we experimented with a bunch of different odor covers. Some of them were worse than the odor in the bathroom. Some of the urinal cakes and some of the things that we tried were just as bad as the bathroom odors. Then we found some electronic odor cleaners that we could put in and actually put on timers so that they would only work during the hours that our bathrooms were used and save on the amount of materials that we had to put into them. They were small units that are now available, often by battery but not timered. They usually just give you a choice of how often you want the spray to go out, but not on what days that you want the spray to go out or the hours during a day. In any case, we tried several different cans of deodorizer. We tried one called Voodoo Berry. I guess I should have known just by the title Voodoo that it wasn't going to be any good, but nevertheless it was so strong that it would actually make you cough. My wife said she hated it. Then we tried one called Clean Linen, and it was such a light fragrance that it did nothing at all to clean the odor. But when I was traveling on a mission trip, I happened to go into a bathroom in, I believe it was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And boy, the bathroom just smelled delightful. And being the kind of person that I am, I went around to find out where the odor was coming from and then to open up the odor generator to see exactly what was in it. And I found that the fragrance was cherry bubble gum. That's right, cherry bubble gum. And with a little bit of investigation, I found that there was a company that made in gallon containers this product called cherry bubble gum. It was in a concentrated form. It was intended to be dispensed by dripping into toilets, into urinals, and or evaporated in the air through just a wick type. The interesting thing was it was quite inexpensive because it was in concentrated form and only took a few drops for every quart or so that you used in liquid. And I finally found something that I thought was an acceptable way to hide odors. Well, that's been a long way to get to your devotion today, but it's very appropriate for the devotion today. Most people that have been around me and seen me work know that I sweat. I don't perspire, I sweat. And after a hard day in dirty clothes, I smell. And so I've tried, deodorants, and I've tried colognes, and my daughter says when I wear Old Spice that I'm dating myself, that makes me old. Most people recognize the smell of Brute because it's so cheap and so many people use it. And we've experimented with different kinds of musks and things that would try to make a pleasant smell. But listen to 2 Corinthians 2:14 through 16. 2 Corinthians 2:14 through 16. But thanks be to God who always leads us in triumph in Christ and manifests through us the sweet aroma of the knowledge of him in every place. For we are a fragrance of Christ to God. And that's good, isn't it? For we are a fragrance of Christ to God, among those who are being saved and among those who are perishing. To the one, an aroma from death to death, to another, an aroma from life to life. That who is adequate for these things? Who is adequate for these things? Well, if you belong to Jesus Christ, you're a sweet aroma to God. Not only that, but your aroma in the public will be one from life to life, a pleasant aroma. How frightening it is to think that if we've never accepted Christ as Savior, we have a bad aroma to God, and that it's from death to death. Yes, I found a solution for all of us who worry about body odor. It's not deodorant. It's not Old Spice or Brute. It's not even the most expensive musks. It's knowing that you have Christ in your heart as a Savior. Because even if your body may smell, you have the aroma of Christ in you, which is pleasing to God. And that's the one we really want to please, isn't it? That's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.